Our company is Reece Group. We have a number of different organisations that fall underneath that as well. Our primary focus in terms of sales and what we try to achieve for our customers. So our customers are plumbers, but also everyday people like yourselves as well. So the AlgoSec solutions that we have implemented at the moment, we've got AFA, which is AlgoSec FireFlow Analyzer, which is I find to be the baseline product that you must have and have it configured well. And the other big one for us is FireFlow, so our change management process and making sure whatever rules we're putting in adhere to our particular risks, our compliance, and also gives us the ability to give the power to our developers in our network rather than having them to come to us every single time they want to log a change. But just making sure that alignment to what our risks and our compliance is I guess, met by the standard. The other thing that we use also is AlgoBot, so that ties in with both the FireFlow as well. Being able to use AlgoBot and give it to our developers to work with. So they work heavily within Slack, giving them the power to be able to make those queries themselves rather than having to come up to us to work out whether a particular application doesn't work because the firewall is getting in the way or because they've misconfigured something. Also from there, they'll be able to log changes immediately if it is something within the firewalls instead of having to come up to us one by one or having to wait when there's someone that's free within the networking space to check whether there is actually issues with the firewalls that's preventing it from going through. We were moving from one firewall generation to the next. That was managed off-site by another company. We sent the requests off to them. What we found is that lacked the business kind of alignment, and we found that there was a lot of rules that we didn't need. Moving forwards, we went from about 3,000 rules to 450 rules between the perimeter and DMZ with the assistance of AlgoSec. One of the biggest challenges with doing that is trying to digest and having understanding about what those rules did, what services they applied to, and also the biggest piece was how can we make sure we're updating these and changing these to make sure that we're not actually going to cause an outage for the business. The reason why we chose AlgoSec is because we saw the benefit in terms of what it'll give us for the business with what we were doing with the firewalls in place, from when we were coming from in terms of, I guess, not as good posture from a security standpoint, but seeing what it'll be able to give us value for in the short term, but also the long term with general processing and that kind of stuff. And also having, as I said, that support on hand, just a call away or like a meeting away for them to come in. One of the big benefits, obviously right off the bat, when we moved across from different vendors of the firewall and having that such a large rule set, that was a big short-term benefit. I think long-term, what we're really seeing with AlgoSec is the time that we're saving, I guess, the people that are administering the firewalls, taking the time away from them having to go every single day to check what rules are being used and all that kind of stuff, and having that in an automated fashion means that the benefit is they have the time back in order to focus on other projects that they're working on, but letting the trust and the ability of AlgoSec to do all the work that would take a lot more time. So another big benefit also was we were able to reduce our firewall rule set by a huge amount, by about 90%. That's a number that we can look at and we can actually see the benefits with AlgoSec, but also the time it takes for us to make a change or for people to request a change has dropped significantly. We don't want to be one of those, internal parties that takes a while or blocks applications from being developed internally. So what we strive for is less than 2 hours for a firewall change within the network. Obviously, we have to go through our risk assessment and that sort of thing, but that's aided and helped a lot by AlgoSec and within the business as well. So another big thing is understanding our risks and compliance. So we have to follow a compliance structure as well as understanding our risk within the business is something that we really want to really flesh out, and then that'll in turn help the automation piece with FireFlow and the analyzer as well, so that whenever we make changes, we know that we're adhering to our both what we understand our risks should be at, what level of risk, and also the compliance that we're required to have within the business as well.